Hi guys, I know it's been a while since my last video. I wanted to see how you guys are all doing and also give you some new content that I think can really help you guys. So the title of this video is Stop Waiting, and it's something that I feel is really important to talk about. I'm just going to explain a little bit more before I get into the nitty-gritty. So sometimes in life I think we don't know what to do, or a better way of describing it is we actually do know what to do, we just don't think the time is right. And I think discretion is necessary because there's absolutely times in life where your circumstances are not ideal to start something, but I feel like what happens far too often is we're actually afraid of failing, and so we tell ourselves that we're just waiting for the perfect time to start something. And this is more about what this video focuses on rather than the other aspects of waiting in life. So the truth is that this perfect time that we think of, it rarely comes, and in most cases it doesn't. But even if it does, it doesn't mean that we're immune to failure. And this is something I really wanted to talk more about. So waiting for the ideal time to do something is something that can affect us all at any stages of life. And I'm going to list some brief examples to illustrate a point, but this list is by no means exhaustive. So the first example was, imagine that you were a creator at this time, or you were even just a student who's got a really big project in mind, or you've just got loads of work to get through right now. And something that we all look for as students is a new laptop or a new MacBook that we can use to do our work or start working on our projects. But when you look around at these things, we spend a lot of time looking at all the specs and all the latest models. You might sometimes feel that it's actually better to wait until the current year's lineup comes out or the next year's model comes out. The truth is actually that these differences between the models are really insignificant, and the best thing is if you have a burning passion or like a huge project that you're passionate to do, or even just lots of work to get through, the best machine is actually one that you can get right now, because the majority of things that are available now can handle all of our workloads and deal with all our projects, but we just like to choose the one that has our favorite brand on it, or the one that has the latest model for this year. And the best thing to do is actually not to wait, it's to get moving and get started now. I'm going to give another example which I feel like will illustrate how this habit can have like an even bigger and more significant impact on our life. Suppose you liked someone a lot, but you feel like you can't tell them right now. And there are absolutely times when I said, like before, when circumstances in your life aren't ideal, say someone had passed away, where you don't really want to be starting a relationship right away. It might end up in some unhealthy codependence. But say everything else was fine at this point, but you just felt like we weren't confident enough to tell them because you think they'll say no. So what can happen in these kind of situations is that you decide that you'll only tell them when you feel a bit more confident in yourself. So you might decide, oh, I'm gonna lose 5 kilos, or I'm gonna I'm gonna get a job and then I'll have some income. Or even if you've got a job, you might think I'm only gonna talk to them when I can really talk about an impressive salary. Um, and the truth is that these things, they don't actually guarantee that this person is going to say yes to you. And if you base your confidence off of these things, these external things, your body weight, your income, you'll never actually feel secure in yourself, because as you start embarking upon those things, you'll always want to lose more weight, or you'll always want to earn more money as you become increasingly single-minded about these single aspects that define your self-worth now. Plus, what you've done is you put yourself through so much extra hassle by liking someone and deciding that you've decided yourself that you can't tell them all this time while you work on your weight or your income, which are things that don't matter. And what you've done is you've bottled your feelings up, and that's not the healthiest thing to do, especially when you consider that things like weight loss and increasing your income, they don't happen super quickly. So what should you take away from these examples? Well, I don't want you to go charging down the aisle next time you're at KFC and your order's 1 minute late. But one thing that I do think is really important to take away is, don't be afraid to fail and don't be paralyzed by making decisions. You'll learn far more and grow as a person and make progress with anything that you feel passionate about in life, which will help you succeed way more than any of these external factors that you're waiting for to come together to perfectly align. You're going to learn so much more by making those mistakes, by looking things up, by pushing yourself towards these things that you're passionate about, whether it's a project you're working on, or whether it's someone you like, you're going to learn so much more by actually doing something about it, rather than just, sitting there waiting for the ideal circumstances to come to your door. um, and how dangerous waiting can be, I guess, is something else, because it doesn't make you immune to failure, like I said before, and failure isn't even something bad or something that you should feel ashamed of. And the other thing I wanted to have you consider about the second example was, what would you do if you did spend years working on yourself, your weight, your income, just to go and ask that person, and they actually say no after all that time that you spent just to try and get them to say yes? Or in that time that you had spent trying to increase your income to X amount, they'd actually got into a relationship and they were happy while you were unsure of yourself. Now, the truth is, it probably was best for you that you didn't get into a relationship with them anyway, but you don't need the extra heartache of liking that person all that time and not being able to do anything about it. So the summary of this video is, I just wanted to say, use your own discretion and don't blame YouTube videos if things go wrong. But sometimes in life it can be good to wait for things, but waiting for the perfect time to pursue something, whether it's because of the fear of failure or because of some other reason, is definitely something that can affect us all in life. And the best way to deal with that is to just get started and begin learning through experience, which is far more valuable than being held back by fear or anything else that you can't control. So the content of the video is over, and thank you for watching it and making it this far, but the video isn't all the way over, because I just want to say that I'd really appreciate if you could give me a like, share, comment and subscribe. It just helps the videos become a bit more promoted to public and more people can access them. And I feel like these are things that we're not really taught that well, or aren't really talked about that much, and I feel like if more people could see them, that would be great. And I'm always grateful for your feedback as well, so any comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys are doing well. Take care of yourselves.